Hello students, hope all of you are fine. Today I am going to start the topic the torque experienced by current loop in uniform magnetic field. You have already studied that when we place a current carrying conductor in magnetic field, it experiences force, and the direction of force, we can find the direction of force on a current carrying conductor in magnetic field by applying right hand thumb rule or screw rule, or when the conductor is placed in such a manner that the angle between magnetic field and direction of current is 90 degree. In that case, the direction of force we find by Fleming's left hand rule. So now let us consider a rectangular coil PQRS which is suspended in uniform magnetic field of magnetic field intensity B. Now we have suspended this coil such that the normal to the plane of the coil, this is normal to the plane of the coil. So we have suspended this coil such that normal to the plane of coil makes an angle theta with the direction of magnetic field. Now what we do, we will find the force on these four portions PQ, QR, RS and SP. Here A is the length of the coil and B is the breadth of the coil. So first let us consider this portion PQ. So here the direction of current is in the upward direction and magnetic field is from left to right. So we can see that the angle between direction of current and magnetic field, it is 90 degree. Also we know that the force on a current carrying conductor of length L having current I, and when it is placed in magnetic field B, then force is given by this formula F is equal to BIL sin theta, where theta is the angle between direction of current and magnetic field. So if we see this portion PQ, then if I consider this point, then force on this portion PQ, let this force be F1. So we can write this F1 as F1 is equal to VI, length of this portion is B, theta is 90, so sin 90, so that is equal to VI V. Now what will be direction of force experienced by this portion? So if we apply this Fleming's left hand rule, this finger, let it point in the direction of magnetic field, it represents current, then the direction of force is represented by this thumb. So if we apply this rule, then we can see that this finger, it points in the direction of current, this finger points in the direction of magnetic field. So thumb, it is directed inward, means direction of force on this portion PQ, it is inward. So here direction of force is inward. Let this be magnetic field. So let I represent this force as F1. Now force on this portion QR. So first we have to see the angle between direction of current and magnetic field. So here this angle is theta, this total angle is 90 degree. So this angle should be 90 minus theta. So again by applying this formula BIL sin theta, if force experienced by this portion QR is F2, then we can write F2 is equal to VI. Length of this portion is A, sine of 90 minus theta. So that is equal to VIA cos theta. So this is the magnitude of force experienced by this portion QR. Now if we apply this right hand thumb rule, then we should curl our fingers from L to B. L means the direction of current. So when we curl our fingers from L to B, the thumb points in the upward direction. So the direction of force on this portion, it is in the upward direction. So means this force F2, it is in the upward direction. Now let us see this portion RS. Here the magnetic field is from left to right and current is flowing in the downward direction. This is magnetic field. Current is flowing in the downward direction. So angle between direction of current and magnetic field, it is 90 degree. So again, if force on this is F3, then we can write F3 is equal to VI. Length of this portion is V, sine 90, that is equal to VI V. So again, if we apply Fleming's left hand rule, then his first finger, it points in the direction of magnetic field, middle finger, it points in the direction of current, then thumb represents force. So here thumb, it is directed outward, so means force on this portion, it is outward. So we can write here outward, or we can write the symbol for outward as this, and this force is inward. So we can represent this force in outward direction as F3. Here the angle between F3 and this magnetic field vector, it is 90 degree. So just for representation, I represent it by this vector. Now force on this portion SP. So first we have to see the angle between magnetic field and direction of current. Here magnetic field is from left to right. So if I extend this toward this side, this angle is 90 minus theta. So this angle will also be 90 minus theta. So this is 90 minus theta. Now the angle between direction of magnetic field and direction of current, it is this angle. So this angle, this total angle is 180. So this angle will be equal to 180 minus 90 minus theta. This angle comes out to be 90 plus theta. Means angle between direction of current on this portion and magnetic field, it is 90 plus theta. So let the force acting on this portion be F4. Then we can write F4 as F4 is equal to VIA sine of 90 plus theta. And we know that sine of 90 plus theta is equal to cos theta. So this is equal to VIA cos theta. Again, if we apply this right hand thumb rule, then the direction of force. So we have to curl our fingers from L to B. So here L is represented by this SP vector. L means direction of current. So when we apply this, then thumb it goes downward, in the downward direction. So means direction of force on this portion SP, it will be directed outward, sorry, downward. So this force is F4. So in this way we find the forces F1, F2, F3 and F4 on 4 portions of this rectangular coil. Now from figure we can see that these two forces F2 and F4, they are acting along same line of action and their direction is opposite, means F2 and F4, they are acting in opposite direction. Also the magnitude of F2 and F4, it is same, and that is equal to this BIA cos theta. This is F2 and F4 is also BIA cos theta. So means these two forces F2 and F4, they are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction, and also they are acting along same line. So their net resultant is 0. Now what about these two forces F1 and F3? F1, magnitude of this force is BIV, magnitude of F3 is BIV. So these two forces, they are also equal in magnitude, and this force is acting inward, this force is acting outward. So means they are also acting in opposite direction. So resultant of F1 and F3, it is also 0. So means we can say that the net force on this current carrying loop, when it is suspended or placed in uniform magnetic field, net force acting on it is 0. But if we see the line of action of these two forces F1 and F3, the line of action of force of these two forces, it is different. So means these two forces, they are forming a couple, and hence we can calculate the moment of couple. Moment of couple means torque on this coil. So this couple, it will produce torque. So let us see how we can calculate the torque due to this couple F1 and F3. So if I consider these 2 points Q and R, so and if I take this conductor PQ, here force is acting in the inward direction and here force is acting in outward direction. So let I consider this portion here. This point is Q and this point is R. And if this angle is theta, here the direction of force is at this point is in the outward direction, and here direction of force is inward. So let I write it F1 and this as F3. So means we have to find the perpendicular distance between F1 and F3, and also we know that angle between two lines is equal to angle between their normals. So here angle between these two lines is theta, and this is normal on this line, this vector is normal on this line. So means this angle it should be equal to theta. This angle should be equal to theta. So if it is theta, then we can find this perpendicular distance. So this perpendicular distance, it comes out to be, this is QR, let this point be M. So we can write MR over QR. MR over QR. Now this MR is perpendicular. So perpendicular over hypotenuse. So that is equal to sin theta. And this QR is equal to A. Length of this portion is A. So MR over A is equal to sin theta, means MR is equal to A sin theta. So perpendicular distance between these two forces F1 and F3, it is A sin theta, and we know that torque produced by a couple, it is equal to product of either force and perpendicular distance between the forces. So now we can write the torque. Torque is equal to either force into perpendicular distance. Either force means magnitude of force F1 or F3, and we know that this is equal to VIB. So torque will be equal to VIB into A sin theta. So that is equal to I A B sin theta. Now this A into B is means length into breadth, that will be equal to area of this rectangular coil. So we can write it as I A B sin theta, where capital A is equal to AB. So this is the torque experienced by a current carrying coil when it is suspended in uniform magnetic field. If coil has large number of turns, instead of one turn there are large number of turns, let the total number of turns be small n, then we can write total torque as NIA B sin theta, where n is the total number of turns. Also we have studied that this I into A, it represents the magnitude of magnetic dipole moment. So NIA we can write it as total magnetic dipole moment. So we can write it as MB sin theta, where this small m is equal to NIA. It represents the magnitude of magnetic dipole moment, because a current carrying loop, it behaves as a magnetic dipole and it has some magnetic dipole moment. So torque in terms of magnetic dipole moment is equal to MB sin theta, where this now theta, the direction of magnetic dipole moment is same as direction of this vector, this normal to the plane of the coil. Means, so in vector form we can write as this torque as M cross B. So this is torque in vector form. Now, under what condition the torque experienced by current carrying coil in uniform magnetic field is maximum and minimum? So we can see from this formula. Let this expression be number 1. So in special cases we can see that if this theta is equal to 90, if theta is equal to 90, then torque is equal to MB, and that is equal to torque maximum, because sine 90 is equal to 1, that is the maximum value of sine. If theta is equal to 0, then 0 or 180, in that case torque will be equal to 0, because sine 0 is equal to 0. Now we can understand this. Suppose this is a rectangular coil, and if I place this coil as, this is the plane of the coil. If I place this coil in such a manner that the direction of magnetic field is from left to right, here the direction of magnetic field is from left to right. So now in this case, what is the value of theta? So in this case, the normal to the plane of coil, this is the normal to the plane of coil outward, and this is the direction of magnetic field. So means in this case, theta is, the value of theta is 90. So in this case, the current carrying coil, it will experience maximum torque, or we can say that when the plane of the coil is parallel to the direction of magnetic field, torque experienced by it will be maximum. You can see another case. If I place this coil in this manner, now direction of magnetic field is from left to right, and this is normal to the plane of coil. If I take normal, then this theta angle between magnetic field and normal is 0, and if you take this normal outward, in that case angle between normal and magnetic field, it will be 180. So in both the cases, torque will be equal to 0. So means if the plane of coil is perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field, in that case the torque experienced by the coil will be 0. So from this today's discussion, we can conclude that when a current carrying coil is suspended in uniform magnetic field, net force experienced by it is 0, and torque may be 0 or non-zero. If we replace this uniform magnetic field by non-uniform magnetic field, in that case coil will experience force definitely, and torque can be 0 or non-zero. So with this I stop here. I wish that you stay at home and stay safe. Thank you very much.